It is a family nightmare that turned a mid-Missouri woman into a crusader for safety.
In the summer of 2012, 13-year-old Alexandra Anderson and her 8-year-old brother Brayden were killed while swimming in the lake of the Ozarks. The Ashland children were shocked by electricity near a private dock at the 6.5-mile marker in the Gravway Arm. Nearly 3 years later, their family is still adjusting to their new normal without them. It has become their mission to warn others of what they call the shocking truth.
I knew in that instant that our lives would never be the same, ever.
It was the 4th of July at the Lake of the Ozarks, which is where the Andersons, Angela, Brian, Alexandra, Garrett, and Brayden were spending the holiday as a family.
I helped Alexandra with her sunscreen, Brian helped Brayden with his. Alexandra said, "I'm out of here," and the last thing I said to her was, "Be sure to put your vest on."
Alexandra and Brayden jumped off their dock and were playing in the water when electricity traveled into the water and shocked them. Angela says within 2 minutes of the shock, they had pulled the children out of the water and were performing CPR.
The doctor said, essentially, this is the hardest thing we ever have to, tell parents, but in this case, both of your children are gone. And I just remember really saying both. I mean, did you just say both? And, but truly, even then, it really hadn't totally sunk in.
The two drowned, a ramification of the electrical current running through their bodies, according to the coroner's report.
My kids had life vests on. The only thing that the life vest did for my children that day, and for Brian and I, was not have to wait to drag them out of the bottom of the lake. We were able to get them out of the lake in a couple of minutes.
For Angela, time has become tormenting.
I have a lot more time on my hands than I used to have, and I don't necessarily like time. I took my watch off a couple of weeks after this happened, and I've never put it back on. When I would look at it and only like 2 or 3 minutes had passed, I was like, oh. My body, I didn't even know that grief actually, I felt it physically. I felt it in my chest. I literally felt like I had a hole in my chest.
Since the tragedy, Angela has thrown herself into projects that incorporate the kids. Alexandra was an accomplished equestrian, and with her ribbons, Angela created a way to remember her love for it. She's also taken the kids' Halloween costumes and holiday outfits and made them into keepsakes.
I've done things with some of their belongings that were actually very helpful for me, because in the process of doing them, it gave me lots of time to think and process through things.
The Andersons have now dedicated themselves to raising awareness for electric shock drowning prevention. They helped finance this billboard on the side of Highway 54 for people to see on their way to the lake.
I hope that people hear about the danger and do something to prevent it from happening to them or anybody they love.
To keep yourself safe, authorities recommend having your dockside electrical system inspected and updated by a qualified electrician annually. If you have questions about the safety of your dock's electrical system, immediately turn off the power supply at the electrical panel and do not turn it back on until it's been checked by a certified marine electrician. On June 20th, the Andersons will host the Alexandra and Brayden Memorial Walk and Run at Osage Beach City Park. Last year, 174 people from 5 different states and Canada were all at the walk. To learn more about how you can attend that walk or to learn more about electric shock drowning prevention, find this story on our website, connectmidmissouri.com. Investigators warn against believing everything you hear about the fatal train derailment